I'm 70 years old, and I'm going to tell you something nobody warned me about, something I wish I'd understood before it was almost too late. You see, everything they told you about a good life, the degrees, the promotions, the square footage of your house, it's all noise. Beautiful noise, sure, convincing noise, but it's not life. It's the echo of life. And I spent most of mine listening to echoes while the real thing, just slipped through my fingers like smoke. Back in 2020, my body finally broke the silence. It wasn't dramatic, no sirens, no collapse on a subway platform or anything like that. Just a sudden slurring of words over breakfast, this numbness in my left arm, and then, well, confusion. The kind that doesn't just fog your thoughts, it erases the map. I remember trying to say my wife's name, and my mouth wouldn't obey. And I thought, oh, okay. This isn't exhaustion. This was a reckoning. Like, finally. They rushed me to the hospital. The room, when I came to, was sterile, but not cold, just empty. Pale green walls, a flickering fluorescent light that hummed like a trapped insect, and a window with blinds half closed, as if the world outside wasn't sure it wanted to look in. Machines beeped in this quiet rhythm, marking time I wasn't even sure I deserved. And while I lay there, tubes snaking from my veins, it was awful. I kept thinking about the young people I see every day, on screens, on sidewalks, in coffee shops, always with their eyes glued to phones or spreadsheets, chasing like this invisible finish line. They wear exhaustion like a badge of honor, right? As if burnout proves you're trying hard enough. They talk about making it, about hustle, about building their brand. But what they're really building is a cage. Gilded, yeah, but still a cage. And the worst part? They think they'll escape it later. Later, well, later never comes. Before the stroke, I was one of them. Just older, slower, and, better at hiding the panic. I'd convinced myself that my work mattered more than my presence, that if I just finished this deal, won that case, hit one more milestone, then I'd finally have time. For what? I didn't even know anymore. I just knew I kept postponing the very things, the things that made me human. My mother, God. I think about her all the time now. She lived long enough to see me successful, but not long enough for me to become a son worth remembering. I'd call her on Sundays, yes, but always in a hurry, always distracted, always with one ear on a conference call. She'd ask how I was, and I'd say, fine, and that was that. She died quietly, in her sleep, a year before the stroke, and that last real conversation we never had, about her childhood, her fears, what she wished she'd done differently. That conversation, gone, forever, and, I'll never get it back. My wife, she waited. Through late nights, missed birthdays, vacations canceled last minute. She never complained, not out loud, but I saw it in her eyes. That slow dimming of expectation. And the children, oh, the children. They grew up in the periphery of my attention. I was there in body sometimes, but my mind was always elsewhere. In courtrooms, boardrooms, in the ghostly architecture of my own ambition. I have photos of them smiling with me, but I don't have the memories behind those smiles. Not the real ones, the ones where I was actually present. I had a friend, same profession, same drive, same hollow trophy case. He talked for decades about sailing around the world, had maps pinned to his office wall, books on maritime routes, even a little model boat on his desk. Next year, he'd say, once the partners retire, once the mortgage is paid, once the kids are settled. He never booked a ticket. And then, one Tuesday morning, he didn't wake up. 69 years old, no warning. At his memorial, someone mentioned the boat. His daughter looked confused. He never said anything about that, she said. And right then, I understood. Dreams deferred aren't just postponed, they're erased. After the stroke, they told me I was lucky. Lucky to have regained most of my speech. Lucky to walk again, lucky to be alive. But luck isn't the word I'd use. Awake, that's the word. For the first time in 50 years, I was truly awake. Not just breathing, not just functioning, but feeling. The weight of a hand in mine, the sound of rain, without checking my calendar. The silence between words, where real connection lives. You think you have time, that's the great lie. Not the small ones, the white lies we tell to be polite, but the foundational lie of modern life. There will be more. More time, more chances, more tomorrows to say what you meant today. But time doesn't negotiate. It doesn't wait. It doesn't care how important your meeting is, how big your bank account grows, how many followers you have. It just moves on. And here's what they don't teach you. The regrets don't come from failure. They come from absence. Not the deals you lost, but the dinners you missed. Not the promotions you didn't get, but the bedtime stories you never read. Not the vacations you couldn't afford, but the walks you didn't take with the people who loved you unconditionally. I used to think meaning was something you achieved. Now I know it's something you choose every single day in small, quiet acts. A phone call that lasts longer than necessary. A no to something that drains you. A yes to something that scares you. Like vulnerability, like stillness, like saying I love you without, needing a reason. The world tells you to accumulate, but what matters can't be owned. It can only be lived. And living isn't about motion, it's about attention, about showing up, not in body, but in spirit. I look at young people now and my heart aches. Not because they're foolish, but because I see myself in them. The same urgency, the same belief that if they just run faster, they'll outrun emptiness. But emptiness isn't behind you. It's what grows in the spaces you leave unfilled. My stroke didn't give me a second chance. It gave me a first real one. And in these last 5 years, since that pale hospital room, since that humming light and the silence of machines, I've done things I should have done decades ago. Sat on a porch for hours just watching birds, called an old friend I'd wronged and said simply, I'm sorry. Started painting, badly, but joyfully. Told my wife every single day that I see her, that I chose her, even on the days I didn't say it out loud. I travel now, not to cross destinations off a list, but to feel small beneath vast skies, to remember I'm part of something older and wiser than my ambitions. And when I'm with my grandchildren, I don't check my phone, not once, because I know that their childhood is a river flowing fast, and if I blink, I'll miss the bend where they stop needing me to hold their hand and start just waving from the shore. So here's my question for you, and I mean this truly. If you died tonight, would your life feel lived? Not successful, not impressive, lived. Would you lie there in whatever bed becomes your last and feel warmth in your chest for the love you gave and received? Or would you feel that cold, quiet panic of roads not taken, words not spoken, people not held? Because that panic, it doesn't fade. It settles in your bones. And no amount of money, no title, no legacy can warm it. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm not asking you to abandon responsibility. But I am begging you, begging, to stop trading your attention for approval, your presence for productivity, your soul for a spreadsheet. The people you love, they won't be here forever, and neither will you. That's not morbid, it's merciful, because only when you truly grasp that, only when you let it sink into your marrow, do you start to live like it matters. Not someday, not when things calm down, now, while you still can, while they're still here. I'm 70. I don't know how many mornings I have left, but everyone feels like a gift I almost didn't receive. And I won't waste another minute chasing echoes. You still can. Don't wait for a stroke. Don't wait for a funeral. Don't wait for the silence that comes when it's too late to speak. Start today. Call your mother. Hug your child without looking at the clock. Cancel the meeting that doesn't matter. Take the trip. Write the letter. Because time isn't money. Time is life. If my story resonated with you, please share it. Subscribe and leave a comment. I'd be truly glad to read what you've already done today to change your life.